Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and I need your help in getting this channel on YouTube to 400,000 subscribers. All you got to do is hit that little subscribe button, and an anti-gunner somewhere in the world will probably start crying. If you're already subscribed, then, I don't know, just hit like on this video wherever you're watching. Some people watch on Facebook, some people watch on Rumble, some people watch wherever else. Also, I have a smoking deal of the week for you guys this week, so stick around till later in the show, and I'll get to that in a couple. Now, the news. We'll start off with the FBI reported background checks from the National Instant Check System. We've been tracking these all year. We've been doing this for a few years now, and we're coming down to the wire the end of this year. And in November, traditionally one of the biggest months, we did 2.59 million background checks, almost 2.6. That's down about 60,000 from the same time last year and down over 1 million from the peak in 2020. For the yearly total, that puts us at 25.3 million, which will likely land us around 27, 28 million for the year. Again, down from previous years. As always, this is not a one-to-one ratio for guns sold, but rather a trend indicator because not every state uses this system, and some sales are more than one gun. Now, I think a large part of these numbers being down equates to two things. The economy, despite what the talking heads will tell you, is still in the shitter. And on top of that, there haven't been very many affordable new guns to sort of take the industry by storm. We haven't seen that in a while. We have seen a couple that are affordable, but in large part, most of the new stuff isn't really cheap. Another thing worth noting is that we are about to pass 500 million total background checks since this system started back in November of '98. The population of the U.S. is currently estimated at 335 million people if you don't count illegal entrants. And if anyone ever says, if we just took the guns away, you can educate them on just how many there might be in the U.S. and how gargantuan of a task that would be. Speaking of anti-gunners, there is a new bill, Senate Bill 1134, being put forth in Michigan to ban what they call deceptively colored firearms, which in the bill is defined as a gun that is not black, brown, dark gray, dark green, silver, steel, or nickel in color. Let's all laugh at this absolute nonsense together. Did you join me? I hope you laugh with me. Imagine trying to tell people what colors they can have on their private property. Shout out to this attempt at a gun HOA. It's so ridiculous. Moving on to some industry news, the acquisition of CCI Blazer, Federal Heavy Shot, Remington Spear, and I think that's it, ammunition companies have been completed by Czechoslovak Group. We've been covering this story along the way, and it's now complete. A foreign entity now owns some of the largest ammo brands in the United States. Vista, the company that sold all these, is also planning to sell all of their non-ammo brands like Bushnell, RCBS, Uncle Mike's, Camelback, Fox, and Bell, and a few others, basically all of Vista Outdoor, to this same company. The total price tag, $3.35 billion with a B. Now, CSG, aka Czechoslovak Group, has said that they intend to keep ammo brands in place and functioning here in the US, but I remain skeptical. To my knowledge, this is one of the largest deals in gun industry history, and I'm very nervous for our future. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this while I tell you about this week's sponsor, XS Sights. I've been wanting to work with a company like XS for a long time. They offer sighting solutions for all kinds of brands out there, and a bunch of them are meant to be fast while keeping you accurate. For example, I got these 3-dot sights on the Desert Eagle, the Co-Witness style on the Masada Slim, and another more different set on this VP9 build. And since you watch TGC, they set you guys up with a big discount. If you use our code TGC at xssights.com, you'll save 20%. That's massive. Big thanks to XS Sights for sponsoring this week's video. Now, how's about some more news, shall we? This is a news program. Q has a new silencer called the Southpaw. This is their first dedicated 5.56 can. It's 6 inches long and 1.75 inch diameter and weighs in at 13.2 ounces. The weight there comes from primarily being made from stainless steel with 2 portions being made from heat-treated Inconel. They specify the heat-treated part. The blast baffle and the end cap are the Inconel parts. These are areas that will take a large portion of the abuse during firing, and being made from a tougher material is a good thing. It's also a tubeless design like a lot of cans these days, and it uses their muzzle mounts like the Cherry Bomb and whatever else they have. They claim that this is one of the best well-rounded cans out there, saying it's very durable and decently quiet, compact, lightweight, etc. And I hope so, because the MSRP is $11.49. They're very proud of that stuff. It's probably good. It's probably good. Also, in new suppressor news, Bushmaster released the Muta 2 BM556 can. Because giving it an easy name is dumb, right? Why? Basically, this is the next generation of those cans. They claim that these are more better. This can is 5.65 inches long, weighs 12.25 ounces, has a direct thread mount, and is made from 3D printed Inconel. Their description says the exterior is made from Inconel, but doesn't specify any other material, so it's unknown if those baffles inside are Inconel or stainless or whatever. If so, this makes it one of the most affordable 3D printed cans I've seen, because the MSRP is $7.10. Bergara is now selling barreled action, and that's neat. Pricing is less neat, ranging from $1,200 up to $1,600 MSRP, and you can get them in a bunch of calibers and barrel contours. The top end is actually a carbon barrel, so if they shoot well, perhaps the price isn't that bad. Hey Bergara, if you guys are out there watching and you want the people out there to see if these are any good, let me find out. These are Remington 700 pattern, and the actions are made from stainless for those that give a shit. Moving on from there, Bear Creek Arsenal released their own bolt action uppers. They will be offered in 350 Legend and 450 Bushmaster, likely to hit those straight wall states. Pricing isn't available at the time of this writing, so I'm just going to react in both ways. Damn, that's expensive for a Bear Creek. Or, okay, that's not horrible. I wonder if they're going to be accurate for that price. I also wonder what the legality is on hunting with an AR bolt action where semi-auto hunting isn't legal. That could be interesting. Also, how about one more segment, and then I'll hit you with that deal of the week, I promise. Ruger is in the news this week with 2 new versions of the Mark IV 2245 Lite. To be fair, it's basically one in different colors. And also, to be fair, this is the same gun as the rest of them with a different sort of outer shell on the receiver. The barrel length is 4.4 inches. The mags hold 10 rounds, and you can have it in champagne anodizing. Yes, that's what they call it, or black anodizing. Both come threaded for a can or a muzzle device and have a pick rail on top for optics, as well as adjustable iron sights. The black one has a gold trigger for some reason. Don't know why. Honestly, it looks good, and these are great guns. They really are. I just enjoy making fun of brands that release 100 versions of the same gun. MSRP on both of these is $739. Okay, I promised a smoking deal for you guys this week, and I'm not joking. Crimson Trace is having their normal Black Friday sale, and stuff is like 25% off, in some cases 40% off. There's a bunch of optics and illumination and other stuff on there, right? Well, if you use the code HOLIDAY24, you'll get an extra 15% off that sale price. In some cases, that's over half off. Like some of their most expensive optics, over half off. And on top of that, if it's not currently on sale in that sale section, if you use my link, you'll get 20% off. So basically, if you need an optic, light, laser, whatever, and you don't want to spend a ton of money, I've got you covered. The code is HOLIDAY24, and the link is in the description. Told you it was a good one. I wasn't lying. Okay, more new guns, right? Beretta is back in the news with a new version of the A300 Ultima. It's called the Ultima Snow Goose, and there are 2 versions of it, black synthetic, and Arctic Fox. They advertise these as being suppressor ready, which is kind of a sign of the times. I don't think I've seen that before. The barrel is 28 inches with a stepped rib, and the mag tube holds up to 9 3-inch shells, so it's 9 plus 1. The fore end has a pick rail under the nose for mounting a camera, or I guess if you're a weirdo, a giant bipod setup. And that is actually attached to the gun via M-LOK. And then the receiver is cut for an RMR, and it has their kickoff system, which is one of the best recoil mitigation setups I've seen on any semi-auto shotgun. And this thing is just like decked out. And the price tag isn't super offensive for what you get either. The black one is $13.59 and the Arctic Fox camo is $14.59 MSRP, of course. And, you know, this isn't cheap Turkish shotgun money. I'm aware of that, but I am a Beretta shotgun fanboy and I want one. Moving on from there, Christensen Arms has a new one. And before you write this off for being expensive, stick with me. It's a new bolt action called the Evoke. You can get it in 4 different camo patterns, 4 models, I guess. And it weighs about 7.7 pounds, depending on the caliber. You know, it can fluctuate depending on the barrel lengths, because those range from 18 to 22 inches, depending on which of the 11 different chamberings you pick. And not all of these colors and models are available in all of the calibers. Some come with Arca rails or Picatinny on top, and whatever, depending on which model you get. There is an adjustable trigger, 60-degree bolt throw, and most importantly, a sub-MOA accuracy guarantee. The kicker is the price tag. Normally, Christensen rifles are expensive. This one has an MSRP of $900. It's incredibly rare to see a sub-MOA guarantee under $1,000. You guys in the comments are constantly reminding me that new guns are crazy expensive, and this one, at least to me, is one of the opportunities to potentially get something very accurate for a good price right out the box. In the very same comment section, you know, the one below this video where you shout at me sometimes, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this rifle. And if you don't mind,